People invest money for different reasons. Some want an income, some want growth, and the key to good investment management is delivering on those goals. Maybe this sounds obvious, but achieving it is harder than it looks for all the different diverse groups that invest: millennials, retirees, institutions, and so on. To hear more, let's meet Nico Marais, President of Wells Fargo Asset Management, and he's also Head of Multi-Asset Class Solutions. I'm Sarah Lockett. Welcome to the Business Debate. Nico, welcome to the London Stock Exchange studios.
Great to be here, thank you.
So going back to basics, for people who don't even see why they might need an investment manager, what is it that you do?
Well, I think first of all, we've overcomplicated what we do. At the end of the day, there are three things we focus on: wealth preservation, risk-controlled growth or growing a portfolio, and paying income from a portfolio. Let me explain. My dad's 87. How do I protect his wealth? That's really important. How do we manage his money? My son's 22. How do I grow his wealth? What does risk-controlled growth mean? And then the baby boomers. How do I pay income from wealth? Those are the three outcomes we need to focus on as investors.
And how do you get to the nub of which one of those things people want? Do people even know which one they want?
In terms of how we structure a business, everyone can talk about an outcome. You will see it's similar to solutions. You can have overused jargon around it. And what we've done as a business, we've created a solutions team that spearheads the firm. So creating those engineers or designers, that's sort of the spear point, the front of the firm, those are the conductors of the orchestra that take all of these investment teams, but those are the ones that will engage with you, that will listen to you. They will be the ones that identify a need and then transform it through to the manufacturing side.
And how much can you treat a group as a group? So you say millennial investors want ethical investors, women want less risky investing. How much can you treat people as a group?
It gets back to discovery. And I think it's really important to be scientific in, as a group or an individual, what are you looking for? Think about millennials. There are more millennials in China than the entire US population. They think very differently and much more confident than a US millennial who's still at home, who's still struggling with debt. So it shows you how important that discovery, that spear point discovery of a firm is to get to what the investor wants, and not use one typical word to describe everyone. That's a great example of how easily you can get it wrong, identifying the need of an investor.
And how is technology changing what you do? Or is investment management really the same as it was 10 years ago, 30 years ago? Is it the same discipline?
No, it's not the same discipline. And I think technology, specifically as it relates to the customer experience, is very important. People often think it's just in how we manage money, but it's really how I translate and how I explain and articulate and communicate with you, the millennial, the end investor. Absolutely, very important to us.
But on the flip side of that, with all the information available online, do people think, oh, I can do my own investing? And can they?
There's a lot that people can do on their own. There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. But being there for the investor when they need you is really important. Very often, they themselves struggle with where they are on the journey. How much should be in protecting my wealth? What does it mean to protect my wealth? So I do think the role we play in educating and helping them discover their own investment needs is a critical part of the road we walk with them.
It's so comfortable and easy to have passive investments, isn't it? So ETFs or trackers, and very few wealth managers actually outperform those indexes. So why should we bother sort of paying your fees and having you at all?
I think people have it completely wrong on active management, and let me explain. There are two arguments. Active management in fixed income is doing pretty well and adding value in a pretty consistent way. Active management in certain areas of equities have done well for investors, and in other areas, in different market environments, have done well. But even more important in terms of active management, we have to redefine the term. My engagement in discovering your needs is an active decision. Thinking about a millennial, thinking about the needs of women is active decision. How I put your portfolio together is much more important than the active management from beating a benchmark. So the debate should focus on portfolio construction, discovering needs, and that's the new active management that I think is significantly more important than simply beating a benchmark. And then index funds could be a great part of the solution.
And it's easy to talk about outcomes. Obviously, you want to get the best returns that you can, but how do you make that happen day after day?
It comes back to listening. The need is expressed day after day, the similar need, for example, preserve my wealth as an individual or as an institution. Day after day means interpreting, using that multi-asset solution team and your investment teams to interpret and then design what needs to satisfy that specific outcome. That's the day after day, is designing the solutions to deliver on those three outcomes.
Really interesting. Nico, thank you very much.
Pleasure, thank you.
And don't forget to join us next time when we'll be discussing the latest innovations in the circular economy and intellectual property. But for now, from me, Sarah Lockett, at the London Stock Exchange Studios, is goodbye and thanks for watching.